The Dream Factory, founded with the goal of supporting children in Manitoba who are battling life-threatening illnesses, has made a meaningful impact through the efforts of individuals like Gary and Marsha Forgue from Nipawin. After learning about the Dream Factory in Winnipeg, the Forgues were inspired to contribute by organizing fundraisers that would directly benefit the charity and local children facing serious health challenges through the Dream Ride. One of the key events in their fundraising efforts is the annual bike ride, which has become a prominent tradition. The event is typically held in Riding Mountain National Park, a scenic location that enhances the experience for participants. The bike ride initially began as a response to the COVID-19 pandemic when the couple sought a safer outdoor activity that could still bring people together for a good cause. This thoughtful decision allowed the event to continue while maintaining health and safety guidelines during a challenging time. The bike ride has since grown in popularity and continues to be a highlight of the year, bringing together the community to support Dream Ride's mission of helping children in need. Through their dedication, Gary and Marsha have played an integral role in expanding the organization's reach and impact.
Hello, my name is Dave Bennet and welcome to Coffee Chat. Today we're going to talk about the Dream Ride 2024 and the Dream Factory in Manitoba. And my guest today is Marsha Forgue. So Marsha, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Marsha, maybe before we get into the Dream Ride and the Dream Factory and all of that, just tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you came to Nipawin, you and your husband Gary, about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've got to know you quite well. But we've got viewers all over Manitoba and all over Canada as well. So just a brief resume.
So we moved here in February 2004. So yeah, it has been a while.
Yes.
I currently work as a volunteer coordinator for Prairie Mountain Health region, and my husband Gary, who is the co-partner on Dream Ride, who couldn't be here today, is a sales rep for Northern Meats, which is based out of Winnipeg.
Okay.
But he works in Nipawin.
Right, and I mean, he can't be here today. He was going to be, but he's pretty busy right now. There's been some internet difficulties with the Federate Co-op, I understand, in particular, and so that he's been heavily involved in recovery processes, we might say, something like that. Yes.
Yeah, he's busy with his region, and he actually does Manitoba and Saskatchewan. So
really?
He's having a busy Monday.
Yeah, he's busy then, that's for sure. So, and these folks, when they came to Nipawin, they just jumped right into the volunteer realm here. Both Gary and Marsha love to volunteer, and they got into the Dream Ride. It actually started way back earlier, because I understand Gary lost his sister to brain cancer. You told me that when she was like 13 years old, maybe, was it?
Yeah. So actually the year we got married, so 2000, April, his sister had a brain cancer and passed away right after our wedding at the age of 13.
Yes.
While she was doing treatments, though, she was granted a wish through Children's Wish Foundation.
Okay, that's different from what we're going to talk about, but it's a similar type of thing.
It's like a Canadian, it might even be worldwide, Children's Wish Foundation. And they lived in Saskatchewan. And she hemmed and hawed if to meet the Backstreet Boys or get a computer. And she ended up picking the computer. And so we got to witness how much that meant to her. Nobody was allowed to touch that computer.
I'm sure.
And and of course this is going back to 1999, so it was not like technology now. She had a big setup with desk and computer.
It's a big deal to have your own computer at that point for a 13-year-old girl, I'm sure. So that then was, kind of a seed, you might say, set in Gary's mind and yours too, I'm sure. And so I know when you came to Nipawin, you were involved in some things, and then there was a Curl for the Cause that kind of started the Nipawin end of it all. Am I right? So tell us a little bit about how that transition and what it was about.
Yeah, so of course, Wish Foundation or Dreams was always special from witnessing personally.
Right.
And then we had Curl for a Cause in 2000 and 2018 and 2019. So in 2019 it was support Michaela Arts and her parents.
Yes.
She was I believe 4 at the time, and she was undergoing cancer treatment in Winnipeg, and it was very expensive. So Curl for a Cause was actually helping with the medical expenses, hotels and gas. And
so that was a local Neepawa thing because they were Neepawa area people.
Yeah,
and
they
so
lived in Neepawa at that
you felt the need and the want to do that. And so friends and family and everybody, you got them all curling for raise money.
And it was amazing. The community all came together, and I think it raised just shy of 14,000 maybe. I'm going for the family. So that was February 2019, and then in November 2019, Michaela was not able to take her dream to Disney. She wanted
so she was part of Dream Factory.
Yes, sorry, yeah.
Okay, I thought that was so, and then your Curl for a Cause was just to support the family.
Yeah, and we didn't know anything about Dream Factory then.
You didn't know about that then? Oh,
no. So this was just a community thing through the Neepawa community curling rink to help a local family. Honestly, we didn't even know Dream Factory existed.
Right.
And then in November, because Michaela couldn't go to Disney to meet the princesses.
That was her dream?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dream Factory was putting on an event for her in Winnipeg. And Michaela's mom contacted us to see if we would like to attend.
Oh, I see. So
Gary and myself and our youngest daughter, Rochelle, went to the Winnipeg Zoo. And they had an amazing day. Like, we were blown away. So the family with the grandparents, aunts, uncles stayed in a hotel. They had a limo service.
Oh, wow.
I got to see pictures. The Dream Factory had it completely frozen in the hotel room with clothes and gift cards and like stuff. And so we got to the zoo. It was decorated like a castle. Every princess was in attendance. They had all of her favorite food, so we ate chicken nuggets and pizza. And they had like a huge candy bar. She danced, sang, played with all the princesses, with all their family. They had family pictures. So while we were there, Andrew from the Dream Factory, who's now the executive director, was in attendance. So we were visiting with them, and that's how we learned about the Dream Factory. And it's all by donation and fundraising events to provide these things to the terminally ill or, children with
life-threatening
illnesses, illnesses, and for their families. So from there, it started to plant Gary's seed of how can we help Dream Factory.
How can we help Dream Factory?
Yeah, because you got to sit back.
So let's just talk about Dream Factory for a moment there then. There have a number of fundraisers that support the Dream Factory, and they have a large number of children, I understand, that are applicants or have been nominated or
referred,
processed and so on, to try and help and so on. So there's a lot of fundraising being done, and they're a Manitoba company?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all for Manitoba children.
And you mentioned two, maybe we'll get this in right now, you mentioned two of their largest fundraisers that they do in the city.
They have a Dream Factory auction gala at the end of April every year. It was held at RBC Convention Center. Okay. We've been honored to be invited. We've gone twice. This year we were unable, but of our riders of Dream Ride that's been part of the beginning, Sherry Francis and Tara McCarty attended for Dream Ride. And then also, I'm going to say his name, Josh Morrissey from the Jets.
Morrissey, defenseman for the Jets, Josh Morrissey, yes.
He does a annual golf tournament in September. He's a dream ambassador for Dream Factory, and that raises a lot of money.
I'm sure.
And then after that, it's all people like us. We have
That are
the
doing
Dream
it.
Ride.
Okay, little pockets around the province and of people that are,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they probably have
Business
annual
sponsorships.
personal donors and businesses that annually donate and so
Yeah.
on. It's been going for like 40 years, you think?
I think it
perhaps?
was, I can't remember if it was 40 or 41. They had their 40th anniversary. That might have been last year. And we're like,
Well, that's great. Well, I know we met,
Mm-hmm.
my wife and I met them last year when we were at the Dream Ride. And well, this year too, they were out to Nipawin once to one of your fundraisers. And I spoke to them again. But it's, yeah, I didn't know much about it either. Heard the name, but that's about it. So you get somebody you can talk to locally, you really start to pay attention.
yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do here is the people that are watching the program perhaps that, pay attention, please, and find out about the Dream Factory. And there's probably Dream fundraisers maybe in your local area as well as the Winnipeg one and so on. So we're trying to raise money for these children. Now the main thing really is the dream of the child,
Yes.
right?
So you have to be 18 years or younger.
Okay.
To be referred. Anybody can actually refer if you know a family that has
So
it.
anybody can refer somebody.
Yep, you just go right online. You might know of somebody that is going, through a diagnosis, and
Right.
doctors will sometimes refer, or it could be a family member or a friend. Dream Factory won't go out searching. For kids. Like there's no soliciting. So that is, like I have referred some kids in our community for the Dream Factory. Like even this year, Evie Kirkowicz is our Dream Ride captain, and so yeah, after you talk to the family and make sure they're on board, it's a very easy referral. It's basically name, phone number,
Right.
doctor's
you
name.
need the family's support and acceptance, of course,
Yes.
in the first place.
Yeah, and then
And-
the Dream Factory then can reach out to the family and start the process of what they do,
Yeah, right.
which I don't know.
Well, that's
Yeah, so I was just going to finish about Michaela.
yes.
When we met them.
Right.
So yeah, we really got to witness it. And then Michaela actually sadly passed away March 2020. So I think it was like 4 months after her dream. So I think it just kind of hit home that was something the families have memories of. That wasn't sitting in a hospital.
Right. Yes.
In
yeah.
treatments and Ronald McDonald House, which is an amazing place. But they got to be a family for a day outside of a hospital, and just how much it means. And it just hits home. And
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. Well, even people when they hear you talk about it, it kind of hits home and maybe hits the pocketbook a little bit.
yeah, it's kind
We
of a
hope, and,
parent's worst
to-
dream, right? That we don't want our kids to be sick.
Yeah, so that's great, and what you do as well. So, okay, so that's the Disney experience of Michaela, where they brought it to her, and I mean Dream Factory, they're big time operators. If this is the dream you want, then
They're
get
very
that. You said somebody
creative.
went to Hawaii on a trip.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, there's
part
been
of it.
Hawaii. If you go on their internet, there's lots of stories what the kids pick. There was one story. The little girl was from Winnipeg. She wanted to meet Dolly Parton, so they had
Dolly
something
Parton?
set up. Yeah.
Oh yes.
There's been Paris. There's been some creative dreams. Swim spas. Some things are local. A camper, or
One child wanted a camper for the family,
Yeah,
so
and
they
they
could do camping,
Yeah.
and so on, which was what she wanted, and that, maybe they only had a tent or could afford
Yeah.
a tent or whatever.
Or
so
a
that was-
family, when you're going through that much, it's putting, in most cases, parents are double income families. And once you get a ill child and spending it in Winnipeg, your income is probably turning to single.
to single income, yes.
Yeah.
We don't think of that end of it, do we?
Yeah.
That's right.
And it's expensive to do things as a family as it is, and then you add that.
So some of the money that is raised, the money's for the dream, but some of the money also supports the family and their expenses.
Yeah, so the Dream Factory does dreams. They grant every eligible child their dream of their choice, and that's a big thing too, right? Like
Their choice.
It has to be the kid's choice. It's not renovation of a bathroom or something. But so the kid gets to dream big, and they also will help financially with, if it be parking, hotels, rent, or mortgage. They do get some money to help with their bills. They do special things. Sometimes we forget that these kids that are immune compromised can't be a kid and go to a movie theater or stuff like that. They'll actually rent the movie theater and let the family experience it safely.
Oh, okay, and friends and so on.
It's not just a dream and that's it. They work with the family before and after.
Okay.
Constantly. Might be celebrations for chemo ended or remission or a big birthday or.
So how large a group is this? I mean, have they got like 10 employees? Do you know, or how big a group is it?
No, Andrew's the executive director. Carly, who you met, does a lot of the assisting of the dreams and events, fundraising. I don't know her actual title. There's a lady named Shannon. She's the one that works directly with the children and the families and do the dreams and planning. And I think they have like maybe Ryan does. I don't remember what Ryan does when we met him.
So
there's
10
one
maybe
more.
a number.
I would say probably 5.
Less than 10.
And it's a board of directors in Winnipeg.
Oh, they'll have a board. Okay, that oversees it and so on.
Yeah. So that's all on their internet. I'm pretty sure it's a staff of 5, but I could be wrong.
Amazing that they do all that with, reasonably small number. That's for sure. Well, okay. Well, now let's kick to our end of it at this end here.
Okay.
You and Gary got involved, and this was important to you. And you felt you wanted to do this and raise some money for a dream factory and for some local children as well that were going through some very difficult times. So you came up with this dream ride right away, or?
Gary did. So 2020, middle of pandemic. So we met Andrew in November. Michaela passed away in March, and our world shut down, right? And we couldn't have events. So Gary decided a bike ride would be safe with all the COVID rules. We're outside. So he came home and he said, I'm going to ride my bike.
Now, we talking motorbikes or pedal bikes?
Sorry, a cycle, like a pedal bike.
Pedal bikes we're talking, okay.
He would ride it from Nipah to Clear Lake.
For folks that don't know, that's 50 miles or 80 kilometers.
Yeah, so that was his first idea. He doesn't ride a bike, so I was kind of...
He doesn't ride a bike?
No.
Well,
So he was like, well, this will be good, and a couple of our friends would do it, and we can maybe raise $5,000 for Dream Factory. It'll give us something to do. And a couple from Nipah, Pam and Doug Miller. So Doug is an actual cyclist.
Yes, Doug does, yes.
Where Gary wasn't. Said that's not a safe route to be on the highway. And so he actually made a route up at Clear Lake, riding the Mountain National Park. So
up at the park area. Okay.
Yeah, so he actually routed I guess it works out to be about 54 kilometers. They start at Sportsman Park and on and all and do a bike ride through the park and back. And then he also made a family fun ride of 15 kilometers. So that is how the routes got made.
The route got started. Well, now, I'll just interject here for a moment. For people that are watching this that maybe have never been to Riding Mountain National Park, this is a beautiful park that we have, the only national park in Manitoba at all. And there's lots of things to do there. Bike routes. It's outdoorsy in a sense. It's not full of I'm losing my words here. I'm sorry, but it's an outdoorsy type park kind of thing. So bike riding and camping and that sort of thing. And Sportsman's Park, or Sporties as you call it, is a long time business that's just outside the park that has camping available there and they used to have go-karts. I'm not sure they do now, but they've got
a restaurant, mini golf,
in it, some stuff like that. So it's starting at that point and ends up there as well. So how many participants did you get that first year? And I mean, did
I think we were at maybe 11. I should have brought that.
Oh, really?
It was very small. So Gary, reached out to a couple friends, and they did the ride, and we think there was 4 of us that rode 15 kilometers. So from Sporties Park in Audenal to the Wishing Well in the park.
Oh, yes.
And back. And then I think there might have been 6 or 7 that did 50. And their goal was like, if we raise $5,000 and give it to Dream Factory, that would be great. And then it ended up being 22,000.
22,000. Just that.
And they planned it and did this all in 2 weeks. It was amazing what that small group did.
Well, and I know you're pretty competent on Facebook and things like that, Marsha. She's all over Facebook, so
drive everybody crazy.
She'll get the word out for that. I'm sure that if it hadn't been for social media, you probably couldn't have done it in 2 weeks.
And a lot of things you can't do without social media now. I think it sure gets the word out pretty fast. So then it just grew from there, like a small group that had this idea. Would never ever expected that it would. This is going to be our 5th summer.
It's your 5th year of doing it. Okay.
On July 27th will be our 5th ride, and so when that happened, the 2nd year, it just grew that much more, and there was a group in town that said, "I hate riding bikes. Can we walk?"
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So then that created a 15-kilometer walk, which is very popular. So now, within these few years, there's the 54 bike ride, 15-kilometer bike ride, and a 15-kilometer walk. And the 3rd year, Clear Lake e-bikes, it's a business downtown Clear Lake. They jumped on board. Good. And they have 16 e-bikes. So we have an e-bike team that gets to use the e-bikes and do a 15K. So a lot of times our dream kids are part of that. Their families are riding the e-bikes. If they're young kids, they're in a trailer behind the bike.
Being pulled by the bike kind of thing, right?
So it's just grown and grown, and we just never expected.
Well, good.
It's amazing, and really, it's a Nipawin community or Nipawin event. I think it's been.
Well, I'm sure now it extends out. I mean, if you get a business from the park involved, and now some other businesses perhaps to get involved, you can grow this even a little larger. So, how many participants would you have had last year, for example?
Oh, I wish I brought all that information for you, Dave.
30, 40, 50 maybe?
Yeah, probably. I would say maybe 40. Well, I don't know. I remember sending that to you once. It was, I think in 4 years, we've had 129 altogether.
Oh, okay.
Something like that. And then this year, it's a busy summer, so some of the people that have always been there can't make it. But we have new ones. Lots of Evie's family and friends are going to be riding or walking.
Okay.
They have family even flying in from BC to come and support.
And so on.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
And I should actually say that Evie Kirkowicz is our dream captain this year.
And Evie's parents or father, I know for sure, was raised in the Nipawin area.
Yes, her dad Derek and her grandma and grandpa live here, and aunts and uncles.
Well, I think I taught both grandma and grandpa, so that may be aging me, folks. But
Evie and her family live in Brandon, but they're close by. And,
that's right. Now, we had a big fundraiser at the ball game. The Nipawin Cubs senior men's ball team. This is the 2nd year I think you've done the fundraising there, and they donate the admission gate prices from that game particularly, and there was a 50-50 ran that night that I know was, because I was on the PA announcement, so I know it was just that close to $4,000
it was
bought. So there was $2,000 to the Dream Ride fundraiser, and the winner went home with $2,000 as well. And then Grandma Kirkowicz was in her pierogi team. Yep. If I could call them that. So how did that go over? Do you know the dinners and that?
It went very well. So, the gate, the Kirkowiczes did pierogies and sausage coleslaw meal.
Right.
As well as the Cubs had sponsorship from Almost Organic Beef. and
yes.
for the hamburgers. So they were making cheeseburgers, and so in total, $3,600 was donated to Dream Factory from the Field of Dreams game.
From the game itself. So
Yeah.
that was the one event. Now that is one of a number of events that you've held leading up to the Dream Ride.
Yeah.
So you've had something at Arts Forward, which is our local arts community building.
Yeah. So that's the biggest thing. Like, it started off with a bike ride, and our community has really come on board. We had at our Spin Rhythm Cycle Club,
Tell me that again.
the Spin Gym, the Rhythm
Okay.
Cycle Club.
So that's stationary bikes?
Yep. Like,
Okay.
and fitness class.
Right.
They did a spinathon, so this is the second year that they did that.
Okay.
And so there was the spinathon, which was the same day as at Arts Forward. There was a barbecue. This following day, our Neepwell Golf Course with Rhythm Cycle Club hosted a fun golf tournament.
Fun golf tournament. So that raised some funds too. So what are we at total already right now this year?
Just $100 short of $21,000.
Of 21,000. So we're at $20,900. And last year,
We raised 50. It was 50.
51,000.
I think so. In
Something.
total, in 4 years, it's more than 157,000.
In the 4 years, right?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was 51,000 last
I
year.
know it was a big number last year.
Yeah, it was our biggest year. Yeah, it was last
Because
year.
I should tell the viewers, I spoke of some of this at our annual Rotary banquet, where we present a Paul Harris Fellowship to deserving candidates in our local area. And Marsha and Gary were our chosen candidates this year to become a Rotary Paul Harris Fellowship people.
Yeah, it was an honor.
We had a nice banquet to honor them, and their friends came out and supported too. And so that was really nice that we could do that.
No,
Part-
it was very nice to be
part
honored.
Yeah, well, you do
And-
a lot, let me tell you. And it's not just the Dream Ride, but there's other fundraisers going on. I mean, if you wonder what's going on, you just phone Marsha up, because you know what's going on. She's probably leading it. If not, she's co-chair of something or other that's going on, that's for sure. So if people want to donate to this, and we certainly hope that you do, you could, how could we do that? You're out there in Winnipeg. How are you going to make a donation? Can they make it to Dream Factory online or something?
Yes. So if you go on the Dream Factory website, they have their events linked or posted. And if you hit Dream Ride 2024, it takes you right to our page. It tells you about the event. It tells you about EV. Tells you about the Dream Factory, and then there's a donate page. So you can donate right to Dream Ride 2024 in support of Dream Factory, or pledge a participant. So,
right, yeah.
and I should say that too, like a lot of anybody that walks or rides, they sign up. There's no fee to sign up. And there's no minimum to fundraise.
Okay.
It can be $20,
Surely,
but
yeah.
come out and support a great cause. It's still not too late to sign up to walk or ride or e-bike. Yeah,
do
which
that
is all
online.
on.
That's
Yep,
all
which is
available,
all
yeah.
on the same page, and then where you can also donate.
Right. And if you're not an online person, we can get you in contact with Marsha. I mean, contact the TV station.
Yeah.
Would be one way here, and we'll certainly lead you
Absolutely.
towards Marsha and the team and so on. There's somewhere, or phone anybody in Neepawa.
Yeah,
They'll-
that's one thing about Dream Ride 2024. I have to say that is a Neepawa event that the whole town should be proud of. Like, for everybody, we just never expected it to grow this much. And another way to donate, actually, Heather from Super Thrifty Pharmacy had just contacted, and she's going to set up something there for donations leading up
so
to Dream
you
Ride.
can walk right into the, you can call it the new pharmacy. It's a new ownership
Yes.
of the pharmacy, Neepawa and in the strip mall, Super Thrifty. And there'll be an opportunity to make a donation right there for local people to do, or mail a check to the TV station and we'll walk it over there. Somehow we'll get it there. Now, you were telling me earlier, and we didn't talk about it today, that there's something you wanted to give back to all your donors and your participants and so on, and you've got chances to go to a Gold Eyes game or something?
Oh, yes. So the Gold Eyes donated a box suite, a sky suite. So you and 20 friends can attend the baseball game in the suite. So we're doing it as a thank you. We call it an everyone prize. So people that have went to our events so far, the golf or the barbecues or the Cubs game or the spinathon, and then now the Dream Ride Day, have all got ballots and put their name in. So we'll draw that right after the Dream Ride.
Okay.
After everybody's done walking and riding, we'll stay on the Sporties patio. People can order lunch, drinks, just friendship and celebrate. And so there will be draws. We're very fortunate to a lot of businesses will donate prizes.
Okay.
So we make it a fun day and a thank you. We do draws, and walkers and cyclists will win a prizes as well.
Oh, good.
So
good.
some of the examples right now, we have a really nice patio set, barbecue. I can't even remember.
Wow,
But there's tons of prizes from small to large. Yeah, exactly. So it's the same
lots
thing.
of prizes there.
And
so, well, that's great.
And it just kind of gives the walkers and riders incentive to do pledges, right? Good old paper pledges.
There you go. That's right. So
like there's no minimum to win. It's just get people out and involved.
Well, it's a great event and it's a great cause. Certainly that is for sure. And you're great people, so how could it not be great? So,
well, thank you.
We want to thank you for coming in today to tell us about the Dream Ride and the Dream Factory. And if you have any questions as viewers, you can go to, I guess it's dreamfactory.com probably. I'm sure you'll find it on Google.
Yep.
Or if you need help, contact us through the TV station and we'll put you in contact with Marsha or whatever.
Yep.
So
we
pleased to
appreciate
be able to do this. So thank you once again
Yeah,
for coming in. And I'm Dave Bennet, and maybe you'll join us again another time for Coffee Chat.
All right. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So tell us what's going on today.
We're just getting ready for 52 kilometers to head out on this year's 2024 Dream Ride.
And there's been a ton of fundraisers for Dream Ride this year, I've noticed.
Yes. We've had Arts Forward involved. We had Rhythm involved with a spinathon. We've had a golf tournament. We had a Field of Dreams game. And great support at all of those events, including this one.
And today's the actual ride.
Today's the actual ride. We have 101 participants.
Fantastic.
Walking, riding, and then a big patio party right afterwards.
Any milestones hit this year?
Yes, we've never had 101 participants. So I'm pretty sure that's at least a 40% increase from previous years. I never looked at the actual numbers, but it's amazing. And we've just hit another milestone. We just went over $200,000 in 5 years. So thank you. So
amazing.
As of right now, we're sitting at just about $46,000 raised this year, hoping to make it to 50.
And today's the day to do it.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right, so you're doing the 52. There's other options, right?
I'm doing the 52, yeah. Marsha's doing the 15-kilometer walk. And then about 10 o'clock, we have the 15-kilometer riders, and there are 15-kilometer e-bike teams sponsored by Clear Lake E-Bikes is heading out from Clear Lake E-Bikes.
And it's a nice day today. It is not that sticky sweltering that it's been for the last week. So looking forward to seeing you guys set out and looking forward to being here when you come back.
Thank you.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Chelsea from the Dream Factory. We are a Manitoba-based charity that helps support children living with life-threatening illnesses in Manitoba. We do a lot of fundraising to help bring dreams come true so that there's a little bit of joy in every piece of that medical journey that they're on.
Fantastic. Do you know approximately like how many places you do events in each year? How many kind of things are going on?
Oh, we have events constantly. This is our event out here. Then we've got another event called Deadlifts for Dreams that's coming up in St. Malo. We're Winnipeg based, so there's events every couple weeks. A lot of third-party events, a lot of people involved, a lot of community supporting what we're doing every day.
And are you mostly the fundraising arm, or do you work on the logistics too of making these dreams come true for the kids?
So I'm not a dream manager. We have a whole team of people.
But the Dream Factory is involved in that whole process.
Yeah, the Dream Factory. We have a wonderful dream manager who takes care of all the logistics of the dreams, and then I help on the fundraising team to ensure that we can make those dreams come true.
And I hear that this particular event, which is in its 5th year, has just passed the $200,000 mark for 5 years.
Isn't that incredible?
Which is just amazing.
Yeah, cheers to Gary and Marsha. They've done an incredible job putting this all together year after year, and just keeps getting bigger and better.
Great, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Is everybody ready to go?
Yep.
Woo! We're going to lead us out of here. Maybe the front row can start going.
Okay, we can go, he said.
Follow Mick.
Well, I have to raise my seat.